Hi guys, welcome back. And the league is back. And I'm your host Prakash, and here's my co-host Praddy. Hey, so we are excited, and we are here to talk about the first match day of the 2018-2019 Premier League.
Shit.
And it started off with a doozy slash snoozy, Manchester United versus Leicester.
Yeah.
What do you think, man?
Well, we've seen for the past, I said in the last video that we've seen in the past 2 years that we've had 4-3 matches, right? That ended with a 4-3 scoreline for the first match. And I thought it was going to be the same, but Leicester didn't have Vardy, because I'm guessing he just came back from England. But it was surprising
he didn't start.
And just 1 minute. Okay, just give me a second. And sorry. And United didn't have Lukaku. They had Pogba as captain, and what else? Who else did they have?
It was just that I think both of them had players from the World Cup, so they both had didn't have many people. I mean, the ones who started weren't as fit. Like, for example, with United, half the team actually came in a week before the game happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, Rashford was a striker.
Yeah.
But he was clearly not in it. The game was not working for him. You had Pogba start again, who also came in a week ago.
Yeah.
Lukaku couldn't even start, though. So some of the big heavy hitters weren't able to start.
Which took out a little bit of a sting from the game. Because you would expect... Because, I mean, Leicester, despite playing long balls, and Iheanacho isn't the same as having a Vardy in there, right?
Yeah, definitely not. No.
But despite it being played in Old Trafford, I think Leicester did dominate quite a bit.
Definitely. It really was. Like, the way the game started, United was on a front foot. They pressed, the attack, and within the second minute, they got a penalty.
Yeah.
And the moment that happened, everybody was like, "Oh, get prepared for 88 minutes of sitting back and defending."
Exactly.
Well, pretty much that's what happened. I guess you can sort of blame it on Mourinho. You can also blame it on the players being tired, but that's just the way he went for it. And had the players sit back, park the bus pretty much almost. The pressing, like there was one point where the commentators were yelling, "Press, press!" Like there's nothing happening. There's just two banks of four just sitting there, and there was a moment where Fred kind of almost, it looked like he got fed up. And he just ran, like he triggered the press. He ran at Leicester's midfield, and that triggered two other guys following, Rashford and then Sanchez, and then that created a turnover. So, it really was a game of. After the goal, it became a lot dull.
Yeah, and I was actually surprised. Leicester could have punished United for sitting back. But had it been Vardy and not Iheanacho,
sure.
Because
when Vardy did come out, he did impact the game.
Yeah, I mean he missed that shot from 2 yards out or something, man. I was like, wow. Yeah, I was like, dude, because he didn't play too much for England.
I suppose the thing is they all have their holiday, so they didn't get to train much with their team. So even if they played, they just didn't have. They were still rusty.
Pogba played.
Yeah, but that's what Pogba. It was amazing. That's one of those. That was a mind-blowing part of that game. So Pogba was basically he didn't hold himself to the standards of the others. He actually came on and impacted the game.
You know what? Much. You know what is the word that he used? What's amazing? You know what's amazing?
What?
Luke Shaw scoring the goal.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how? It was a tad bit lucky though. I think when he got the touch.
Yeah.
But past the defender, but that finish was crazy, man.
It's crazy good. Yeah. It was. We call that the accidental Burkamp. That was good though. I didn't realize the ball went in, and then I was like, wait, how did it go in? That was Luke Shaw. Wait, what? And it was a very wholesome moment to see Mourinho celebrate it so much.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you about that. Yeah, like Mourinho went berserk with his staff, man, as though he won some cup or he's a genius for keeping Luke Shaw.
We haven't seen that reaction when he won the League Cup.
Yeah,
nothing, not
exactly.
A smile on his face.
And this is like when Luke Shaw is so hopefully he'll lay off Luke Shaw for a while.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, I think there are better days for him. I've seen him like over the preseason and regularly, slowly improving his game. He's coming up. He's attacking. I think
Hmm.
the thing that he wanted most out of Luke Shaw was he wanted Luke Shaw to attack, and
Yeah.
but I don't know, maybe there was a mental block or something. He just wasn't confident enough. But
Yeah.
I think it's coming back.
I mean, Luke
Hopefully,
Shaw
things
hasn't
change
been the same player since that PSV tackle, right?
since that injury. Yeah, yeah, that was just
That
that
was
that can really
horrendous.
play on a player's head.
Exactly. So it's understandable, but at the same time, he's had other issues, which other injuries that have plagued him. So
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
way, it's good to see him back, but I don't. I don't know whether it'll be a long-term thing since Ashley Young come back, and then you have Diego Dalot, and
Dalot is technically supposed to be a replacement for Valencia. He's supposed to like he's a right back.
I think he's left back.
He can play both, but
Okay.
he's more of a right back than a left back. So Dalot is intended to be as I think most of us what we imagined it to be was slowly taking over off him. Valencia's 32. This guy can't be
Yeah.
33 almost now this year.
Don't you have Damian there?
Damian was the whole plan of the summer was to sell Damian. We tried our best to sell Damian, and there was not a good enough offer. The whole point was like we kept
Yeah.
playing him so that people can see the guy and be like, okay, let's buy him. It was like an advertisement, but sadly it didn't work. But no, Damian's I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
We
who else?
tried.
You had Rojo, who you were trying to sell as well. So
Yeah. Hopefully we can
understood.
do that next year. If we can do that, if we can sell off Rojo and you can get Alderweireld for 25 million, I would say that's not
No,
bad. You
that's
can
not
get
a
2 years
bad
out of
deal.
a
Yeah.
30-year-old Alderweireld. 25 million is worth it.
Exactly. Okay.
Oh,
So yeah. So United won 2-1. Vardy did eventually score. That was what like it bundled off him or something,
that was
right?
such a
No,
bullshit
no,
goal.
or it bundled off someone, then he headed it in or something.
Yeah,
Oh, it
it
hit the
hit the
post.
post. It hit the
Yeah.
post. Like, it was a curve ball that
Yeah.
the defense was stopped for a moment. De Gea could have come and collected it, but he didn't. Then it hit the post and rebounded, and then Vardy just like put his head in. The
Yeah.
ball went back in. And
Yeah.
everyone's
So
like, what the fuck just happened?
yeah.
Well,
y-
United, you can never give up to the last minute. So
Exactly.
we were all shitting bricks till
Yeah.
the 95th minute.
I know that more than United fans, but
Yeah.
right. So with that,
But not anymore. Not with all the shit that you guys are doing.
we'll come back. We'll come to that eventually. That's on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
So we finished
Okay.
with Friday night football, and then we come now to Saturday, which didn't have any spectacular match as such. I mean, it started off with Spurs versus Newcastle.
Yeah. That was
It was
first of all
interesting. It was interesting because Spurs, like we said, doesn't have too much of depth. So they
yeah.
kind of had to include all of their English players that just came back on holiday. Kane
I
looked.
know, right?
Kane, Dele Alli. I think only
Yeah.
Trippier missed out or whatever, but
Yeah. And Dele Alli still played really well. He played
he
so
did.
well in that game.
He
It was
did.
crazy.
Kane looked a little bit jaded or
Rusty.
like a
Yeah.
little rusty.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time. And it's August. He doesn't score in August.
It doesn't
does
go in August. Why do I have him in my
I
FPL?
don't know why I have him
I
as
put him in and I was like, he doesn't score in August. Why do I have him here?
Yeah, on fantasy leagues is crazy. So
But I feel like the moment I take him out of my league, he scores.
like 4, right? Directly.
But yeah, so Dele Alli still played well. But the thing is, Tottenham had some chances too.
But I think
Well-
Newcastle did so well.
Yeah. So Newcastle, like, I was like, whoa, Joselu scored.
Yeah.
But after that, even when Tottenham went back up to 1,
Mm.
it felt like the game was Newcastle's. The number of chances they had.
Yeah, they hit
The
like
number
the
of times they
post
hit the
twice or
post.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
And
I
it
mean,
was
Benitez
interesting
should
seeing
take comfort
Rondon
from
in
that.
Newcastle. It almost seemed like he's wearing the same jersey because it is same color. So it didn't feel too odd. But
Right.
I think it's a good buy for Newcastle. They need somebody like that up there.
Yeah, I mean, given how like because Benitez likes to play defense to midfield long balls right into the striker who's running and making those runs, right? That's how he played with Torres, which is Xabi Alonso and Gerrard, pinging those 50-yard balls
Mm-hmm.
a second after they get them right into a rushing Torres. So I think it's similar, but I mean, they don't have pace of Horselu and Rondon aren't really Fernando Torres, nor is Jonjo Shelvey or Matt Ritchie, Xabi Alonso and Gerrard.
Yeah.
But
Well, yeah, I can't blame. I mean, Benitez is overachieving. Every single game, he's
Yeah.
overachieving. in my opinion.
Even with this,
So
I don't think he's like, no one's doubting him. Even after losing 2-1 to
not
Spurs, that performance showed that
was so to
had
Spurs
it been
exactly.
had that little bit of injection of money been put in by Mike Ashley, like this
Yeah, these
club
guys
can
would
do
be
wonders.
contending. Yeah, for sure, man.
I-
And we know that the money is being squandered in like some really, really shitty way, right? There's like some scandal going on, and
Yeah,
he's spending the money on his house or
yeah.
some shit like that. I don't even know what's going on.
It's only a
Actually.
matter of time before Benitez really gets pissed off and fed up, and
I
nobody's gonna
still don't know
blame
how
him,
he's still there.
and no one's gonna
You
blame
know,
him
like,
for that. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know why he's still there. He should have left at the end of this season.
Yeah,
Could have gone
I
to
was actually thinking he'd go and become the Spain coach.
Spain.
Yeah, after this one left.
Could be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like, this guy, because he knows all the players that way. He speaks Spanish. He's national
Yeah.
coach. He's got the intelligence. So it's surprising, but now that he's with Newcastle and the fans still love him, so nothing can go
Yeah.
wrong.
Oh well. Well, okay. So let's just suppose move on to
Yeah.
the next game. We had Huddersfield versus Chelsea.
Yeah, you had the result that you wanted. Yeah, well, I thought Chelsea would struggle a bit initially, but that midfield of Jorginho and Kante is proving to be quite.
It's starting to look like that Matic Kante midfield where one person
Yeah.
sits back, but this guy is so much more quick, adept,
Yeah.
and I guess younger.
Younger, right?
So what that allowed is you saw Kante making all these great runs up into the box,
Yeah.
making attacking forward runs, and like that's probably the reason why he
scored the
showed up
first.
and scored the first
Yeah,
goal.
because after they scored the first goal, I was like, who scored? Where? Who scored? Like, I was wondering which player's there. And then I saw Kante get on goal. I was like, whoa. Because when I was doing the fantasy thing, it was an issue between Kante and Jorginho. And I was like, Jorginho will play up front. Because Kante normally takes care and intercepts and passes it forward.
Right.
And to see
just
Kante score, I was like,
Jorginho got an assist though, right? Did he?
I think, yeah. Oh no, Alonso got the penalty. Jorginho scored the penalty.
Oh yeah, he scored the penalty. So you got point anyway. That was a good penalty. That was a nice penalty.
Yeah.
And like that, watching that first goal again, and there was another tear that I had to shed. Watching Willian beat a man and play that beautiful cross. Like I don't think I've seen a cross like somebody do that in United in like years. Beat a man and play a peach of a cross. Like how? Like, okay, I mean a winger.
Yeah.
I've seen Pogba do that sometimes, but like when is Valencia or any of we don't even have a right winger to even do it in the
Exactly,
first.
right.
So
Yeah, Willian.
Mata.
The thing is, it's good to see Willian back in Chelsea. Like, I didn't want him to leave Chelsea because he suited the way they were playing with him and Hazard.
I think he's happy being in Chelsea too.
He is now with Sarri there, but apparently he gave an interview where he said if Conte had been there, I would have left. I would have definitely left. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, you can see Conte had burned a lot of bridges while he was there.
So many teams.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, but it was good to see him because Hazard wasn't playing the first half, right? And
Yep.
so it was good to see Willian take control, and then you had Pedro and the likes of the other people there.
And then Hazard comes on, and then the game just gets electric.
He ran past that defense like they were nothing, like a
Sure.
knife through butter or something. He just
Yeah.
ran straight to them. Nobody even wanted to intercept him because they were only
Scared,
the last defender had to make the tackle because otherwise you'd have had one-on-one with the
So
goalie.
now the question becomes: is he doing that because he wants to show how he wants to show Sarri how good of a player he is, or if he
Madrid.
wants to show Papa Benitez,
No,
Benitez,
Perez.
sorry. Papa Perez, how good of a player he is.
I would. The Real Madrid or the conspiracy theorist in me wants to say it's for Papa Perez, but
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen this season. Sarri said no, and even Hazard's not gonna push for it. I think
I suppose not.
so. He's okay. I
But,
think
like-
waiting till next year to see what happens.
If there's any time, it has to be now. Like why? Like why hasn't he left yet? Or maybe Real Madrid just hasn't made the bid. Maybe it's on their camp.
Yeah, I think the thing is, Real Madrid also are waiting to see what is this thing because they really want Mbappe or Neymar, right? So it's like, should we go in for Hazard now and then have to pay again big money to
Yeah.
get
Huh.
one of the big two, or we just wait and just get Mbappe or Neymar for that much money?
When does the European transfer window close? End of this
End
month.
of this month, yeah.
August 31st.
But there's no way because Chelsea are not going to get any replacement in anytime
Yeah.
soon. So
And he even came out and said it's impossible for any more
yeah,
transfers
and
to happen.
Sari just chewing his cigarette butt.
Chewing his cigarette.
Dude,
Oh,
that was
God.
brilliant.
That reminded me of that. I think what was it? It was a Cartoon Network show where the guy takes a it was Community
Oh,
with Donald Glover.
Yeah.
He takes a cigarette and then they light it and then he starts chewing it. Anyway,
Yeah.
So then we have a game. Okay, Bournemouth versus Cardiff City.
Okay.
Gotta say, it didn't really. I wasn't really paying for much attention.
I didn't watch it at all. I was more focused on the Wolves and Everton game, man. That was crazy.
Yeah, that
because
was-
that was a team. That was a match between two teams who had spent so much in this transfer window.
Yup, the 100 millions.
Yeah, like Wolves with Patricio, Moutinho, blah blah blah. Everton with Digne, Yerimina, Richarlison, the guy who scored two goals.
Richarlison.
You kind of almost paid it off in that match, scoring two goals.
Not having scored after like so long, comes on and just scores.
But
Bangs
that Ruben Neves free kick, brilliant.
Do you think he's gonna continue doing that through the rest of the season, or was it just a one-off? Not one-off.
No,
but like,
he's scored some really good out of the box goals, like outside the box goals, like a Coutinho kind of this thing. So it's not a surprise to see him score that way.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, we still have to mention a little bit of the Bournemouth game, but I think all I remember is there was a chance where everybody was scrambling on the goalpost, and Cardiff had to have scored a goal. It was one of those like scrambles, and there's everybody kicking the ball, and there's nothing happening. It was one of those schoolyard scrambles, and it didn't turn out. And I was like, well, if it doesn't happen now, it's not gonna happen for you, Cardiff. Switch back to the Wolves.
Yeah.
The red card really did influence it.
They had a red card already?
No, in the Wolves Everton game.
Oh, yeah. The Jagielka
Jagielka.
one. Yeah, but that was red card, man.
That was a red card for sure.
Yeah, he took out the last player. What, he had an open
stud.
chance. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
not cool at all.
goal scoring opportunity. It had ticked all the boxes for a red
Every
card.
single one.
Yeah. So,
And he was sent off, and well, there's not much you can do with Everton after that. But still, it was a very, very exciting game.
Yeah.
To see Neves, to see Richarlison show up, and and it was cool because Richarlison himself won that free kick, the one that he scored the first goal from. So good effort, and I want to see more of him because he's on my FPL team. Yeah.
but it's nice to see like the promoter teams putting up a fight. At least one of them. Fulham lost, was it to
Fulham did lose, to Crystal
Crystal
Palace.
Palace? Yeah, Zaha. That guy needs to move to a big club.
But
man.
Fulham had their chances too. That was the funny thing. The thing is, it seemed like later on they gave up towards the second half of the game. But when they first began, it seemed like they could have scored. They could have even gone, one up if needed. But Crystal Palace just made more of their chances. They're a veteran Premier League team.
Yeah.
They know how to do these things.
Yeah, it'll just take time, but I still see Fulham being a nuisance for some of the teams.
For sure. Yeah, I agree on that too.
But yeah.
And then I guess we can go on to Sunday.
Sunday and Super Sunday. Oh my god, what?
Let's start with the chill one. The Southampton versus Burnley game.
Well, Burnley would have parked the bus as much as possible, or like it was 0-0. There was nothing much in it.
Not much.
I kept
Liverpool
hoping that
Burnley.
Burnley would score, or because we all predicted that Southampton would get kicked out soon. But unfortunately, that was the dullest of the Sunday matches.
Yeah. Yup.
And we moved to not Super Sunday, but Super Sunday for me. Because Liverpool played West Ham United, and we finally saw half of the investment made by Jurgen Klopp this summer, with only Alisson and Naby Keita starting in the 11.
Okay.
Shaqiri and Fabinho was sat out. Fabinho recovering from a slight illness, and Shaqiri, we knew he was going to be a bench player. He's not going to be attacking from this.
That's actually scary because what happens is Liverpool run around. I mean, from the past what we've seen is Liverpool expend so much energy pressing teams and counter pressing and carry pressing and all of that, and then to have somebody like Shaqiri who's just as enthusiastic coming off the bench, rejuvenating that press, man. Scary. Anyway, what do you think of the game?
So the first 15 minutes was like, it was the same old story of Liverpool trying to break down a really compact team.
Uh-huh.
They had a lot of chances, but most of those chances was either Milner or Wijnaldum pinging in balls over the defense, because they were playing a high line. So it was the forwards trying to make a run through the defense and them trying to find it. So more often than not, unless you have a Xabi Alonso who can really find you at that particular second, it was always an inch away or an inch
Right.
further. So it was a little frustrating the first 15 minutes, because I was like, are we in for one of those classic 80% possession, 0 goals scored kind of matches? But no, it was Naby Keita who got the ball in midfield, played it to a on-rushing Andy Robertson on the left, who crossed it in a beautiful cross, and who else but Salah to start open the scoring. It's like he's never left. And it's surprising, because with Egypt you never saw this Salah, but with Liverpool you're seeing this totally different player, right? Who is
because you have a team around.
Yeah, and they all know how to play, and it was so fascinating to see Naby Keita fit in so seamlessly. That was the biggest surprise.
What were your thoughts on Keita? Like,
I think he'd be perfect as a.
What was he doing well at? What was he doing?
Okay, so
bad?
He was more in an attacking sense, right? So I was very impressed by the way he controlled the ball and controlled the pace of the game, right? So when he'd find those pockets of spaces, because obviously West Ham, while 1-0 down, had to press and had to go open, right? Because they have to score at least one, unless they were okay losing, which I don't think any team is. So once they open up, that's when Liverpool thrive on. So finding those little pockets of spaces in midfield, Keita was brilliant at it. And once he had the ball, I loved his control on the ball. It's not like he rushed passes or he's like, oh, I'm going to start spraying it all over. Got the ball, he knows where each one of his players are, and direct passing. And it's so good. And fine, I think he needs to little work on his pressing a little more. But I don't think that's his game too much, right? Like, I don't think he's been told to really go at it. Because you've got Milner, who's a workhorse. You've got Wijnaldum, who's a workhorse.
Where does he play exactly? What is his
Number
position?
8. Like how Oxlade-Chamberlain used to play.
Okay.
So, if
different dynamics between them both.
Yeah. So, I don't see him being too physical. But at one point of time, not physical, but I don't see him being too physical. But there was one point where, while we see him good at passing and finding pockets, he's not afraid to take it on himself, right? Take the ball by himself. So at the edge of the penalty box, he dribbled past 2 players into the penalty box, and only because he was crowded by 3 people, he couldn't find his way through. But he still managed to pass it a little bit into Wijnaldum's path, and he missed it. But he's not afraid to take on defenders.
Yeah.
Which is so, like...
It's good to see.
It's good to see, right? And so that was my impression of Naby Keita. Alisson, I really didn't see... There was not too much to... Yeah. I think Van Dijk and Gomez... I have to say, Van Dijk and Gomez are forming they look a good partnership. Because we know Lovren's out for a couple of weeks, so...
Not good news.
Dude, but I was reading an article where somebody also said that Van Dijk looks like a really mean bully who pushes people off.
Basically Karl Drogo. We was watching him live, and I'm looking at him towering over Sanchez and Mata, and United trying to play long balls to those guys, and Karl Drogo just walks in and just like heads them away. Like, ding, ding.
And he's not and he's so vocal, which I love, because at one point I think Felipe Anderson put in a cross, and he had to Van Dijk had to awkwardly kick it out of play, and then he actually said, Mane, stop the fucking cross. You could actually see him mouth those words. The camera actually went up. He's like, Mane, stop the fucking cross. And Mane had just scored like 2 goals, and you're telling your goal scorer like, stop the fucking cross. And he was so pissed off, and I love that he's brought that leadership to the team. And I was reading
that's very important. That was one of the biggest qualities that they mentioned when bringing him in. That not only is he
like 6'4",
physically strong, but he's a leader. He's vocal and he takes control. He takes charge. And that was something that was missing from the past few seasons at Liverpool, where
Yeah.
everybody's looking at each other like, "Hey,
Yeah.
what the fuck am I supposed to do? It was yours. It was yours."
Exactly.
Uh,
So it's good.
it's good
And
to
I
see
was
him doing that.
reading another stat that Van Dijk, since since we got Van Dijk, there's not been a player who's had more clean sheets or something. I think.
Interesting.
Which is crazy. Wait, I'll just like
Alright.
anyway. That doesn't matter.
So I guess pretty exciting game.
Yeah.
We should move on to the last and final, supposedly the biggest matchup.
Yeah.
United watching
No.
Arsenal versus.
Yeah. And the other
I feel about
Manchester.
United right now, and my Freudian slip takes me to an Arsenal. Anyway, so Manchester City versus Arsenal.
Yeah, it was the first test for what a test for Emery, right? Like first Premier League match you playing against the champions. Imagine had he come with a win or a draw, that would have
That's done.
immediately taken him to that. So
manager of the month. Here you go. Month has haven't even started. Here you go.
My problem was with the team selection for Arsenal. Why not start Lacazette and Aubameyang? I've been crying out for those two to play together ever since Aubameyang was signed.
Would they work well together? Both of them aren't they?
Dude,
both sort of like run behind the
You should
team.
have seen what happened when he came on in the second half. Lacazette and Aubameyang. Aubameyang needs that little second partner to hold up play or run, and needs
And
that
lay it
little,
off.
Yeah, lay it off because those two were killing it in the second half. Okay, so, but in the first half, like I said, it was a team selection that was a little wavery because there was no Lucas Torreira. Lichtsteiner was not there. They were playing with Socrates, who's a new centre back, and they played with Aubameyang up front with Ozil, Mkhitaryan, blah blah blah. And they played with the young fellow Guendouzi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
From City's perspective, I was a little surprised not to see Sane, given that he had played
Yeah,
pre-season.
I know. He apparently he had a pretty poor preseason. I didn't really think so.
And he scored against us, which he normally does. With that pace, everyone's making the German mistake, right? Like, Germany didn't take Sane because he's playing for Germany, and you can see that he missed them.
Yeah.
City don't miss Sane, to be honest. They've got enough.
As much.
Yeah, as much. But why not?
But still, like Sane, it doesn't make sense that Sane doesn't. He's one of their best players. I would still say he's one
because
of their best.
Sane
who's better for them on the left?
Exactly, because see, Sterling was playing on the left, right, and he was playing against Bellerin or someone.
Right. This is to accommodate Mahrez coming in on the right.
Yeah, and had Sane played on the right or whatever, Mahrez was giving Maitland-Niles like a run for his money. Like he was torturing the poor guy until he got injured, Maitland-Niles. So you can imagine what Sane would have done.
Right, yeah.
With that pace?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. Aguero had an okay game. He missed a lot of chances. Cech was terrible. Okay, I mean, he made a lot of saves, but they cannot play. I get what Emery wants to do. Play from the back.
But Cech can't play from the back.
He almost got an own goal playing from the back. He passed it, and I was cooking or something. Then I came back.
Wait, did Emery actually play from the back at PSG?
Nah,
I didn't think so. Why does he want to play from the back with Arsenal? Like, what the?
It's not like they have the personnel to do that as well.
Yeah, exactly. I'm confused. Why would you want Mustafi playing from the back?
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Ozil had a poor game. I mean, that after... So,
how many times you said that?
Who scored the first goal? Oh, Sterling. That was...
Sterling scored the first goal. That was he cut in all the way till this penalty spot almost.
Yeah.
To the center and then took a shot.
Yeah.
Cech didn't even dive. He just looked at the ball.
Exactly, but I thought Cech could have done better. If you're a world-class goalie, you could have done better. Not taking
He's
away
not
from
anymore.
that.
He's getting old. He just doesn't have the
But that's why wouldn't you not play Bernd Leno? You spent so much money.
So they bought another goalkeeper?
Bernd Leno, the Bayer Leverkusen guy. Yeah, 25 million that they paid for whatever. 25
Oh, shit. Okay.
Bernd Leno is a really good prospect.
Okay.
And so it's a little surprising to see Cech in goal. And after this, I don't see him being there for too long.
Yeah, I suppose not.
Aguero had a brilliant chance one-on-one after Guendouzi made a mistake. He should have laid it off to KDB.
But yeah, he's a striker. Striker instincts will not let you do that, right? So,
And
well,
on the opposite side, Ozil had the best chance. Edison in the second half was so bad. His passes were just going straight to Arsenal players. It's like, which team are you playing for? At one point, he gave it straight to Mesut Ozil. Mesut Ozil, all he needed to do is control it and take the shot. Idiot! His touch was so bad. The moment the ball came to him, it rebounded back and went back to Edison all the way.
I wonder what's going on with Ozil.
It's got a
I
lot
think
of
he'll
things
show
in
up.
his
I
mind.
think he'll be fine. He just needs some time and some support. But I think he should be fine.
No, but he's got a lot of things on his mind, I think.
I'm sure with all the stuff that's going on outside the pitch. Yeah. Well, then at least, hopefully, I think Arsenal might have something better to show, or better result to show in the next game, right?
It's Chelsea.
next.
Shit. It's gonna be
This
fun.
is a battle of two new managers.
Yeah.
And to see what he can get out of that. If Hazard plays, I think the game will be very, very, very lopsided.
I would think he would start, right? Because it's been a while as well. 1
It
week.
should be enough time for him to have that
Yeah.
covered and done.
But we will see a little bit of a different change for Arsenal as well. I think Lucas Torreira, when he came on, was really good as a defensive midfielder. So we would see something better. To be fair, it wasn't as bad as I've seen Arsenal before. They did put up a decent fight in the second half.
Right. Fair enough. Fair
But
enough to say.
City is City, man. I mean,
I think we'll have a better sense of how all the teams are after when the first international break comes in. We'll have 4 games played between every team.
yeah.
And we can sort of get a more concrete feeling. I feel like people are still feeling each other out. The managers, like Sarri was shitting bricks. He was losing it. He was like, "What are you guys doing? Press, attack." And Chelsea was like, "No, Conte told us not to do anything."
Yeah. It's difficult to change habits. So old habits die hard. So it's gonna be. It'll be interesting. It'll take some time. Like Sarri said, it'll take at least 3 months, according to Sarri, to change his team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
I guess if you're so different from the other tactical side.
yeah. But
like how Crystal Palace tried to do last year. That didn't work out so well. But yeah, we'll give them some time. Chelsea has the time. They have their players, and I'm sure they can come through with it over time.
Yep.
But so that's it for the first week.
Yes.
I think that was a very, very exciting first week.
Yeah, we had some good matches. Yeah, I'm happy with
we
mine.
had no upsets, right? We had all the teams that we thought would win.
Yeah.
So far, so no upsets. Things are interesting.
You're top of
Should
the
be
group.
Yeah, woo, top of the group. Same points as us. Okay, so it doesn't still matter.
Yeah, I know.
So
Oh.
next week will be really interesting. I think there's some very interesting games next week. You got Chelsea, Arsenal playing each other.
Yeah.
That's the biggest one.
That's the
right?
biggest one.
And the week after that, you've got Monday Night Football with United and
Spurs.
Oh,
shit.
Excited for that. See what
Oh.
happens there. Hopefully people enjoy the Spurs.
Yeah.
It's still August for Harry Kane.
I don't know, man. I think Liverpool played like their big first top 6 team or something quite late though.
No, there's another very interesting statistic. So City plays all the new promoted teams over the last 2 years over the next 6 game weeks. 3 from last year, 3 from this year.
It's gonna be like some battering ram now.
Exactly.
Like, oh,
I
shit.
feel bad for all the newbies.
Yeah.
Have to face City. But hopefully it doesn't go as well. I don't know.
Hopefully,
Regardless,
man.
I think it'll be a good way to look at it.
Yep.
If they do well, then they're like, oh, okay, they expanded their force and all that. If they do bad, then you're like, oh,
It's gonna
it'll
be
be good because then they'll be play during Champions League when things get all hectic.
Yeah,
they'll
that's
be
when
playing
it's
more
gonna be
difficult
fun
games.
when the Champions League starts. Oh, and the draws on the end in the end of the month as well. So that's gonna be crazy.
Okay, excited for that too. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so thanks for tuning in, and that's it for now from Game Week 1 from us here at the 12th man, and we are very excited to see you for the second week. Do join us, like, share, subscribe, and comment on the videos. Let us know what you think, and let us know what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. Take care. Bye bye now.